the process of applying is difficult because there's a lot of insecurities, like, am I good enough? And, you know, you're going to have to learn to deal with failure. You're not going to get in everywhere. You might not get into your dream school. You might not get the scholarship that you want to your dream school, but the process of applying prepared me via, you know, the mentorship that I had through architecture portfolio review or school review, was that it prepared me for an architectural education more than my architecture classes at Bennington College did. In terms of expectations and iteration of design, you know, you had me do hundreds of drawings for just one project, and then after I did like 500 drawings for just you know, a proposal for a project that I could do, you'd say, nah, it's not working out, and we'd start all over again.
Right.
But that was, you know, in the moment it sucks, but in hindsight, that did so much for me in being able to realize early on in the process of designing if an idea is, you know, going somewhere, and how to work through it and iterate to get it to a place where that is where it should be. The essays and the writing and all of this kind of contextual information about you makes the portfolio and the application stand out so much more because everything is intertwined. Every aspect of the portfolio is representative of the individual. It's not generic. Like, you couldn't, you know, my portfolio would not work for another person. And that is why I'm certainly sure that all those essays and contextual information informs that, because I remember by the time my portfolio was done, I was like, this feels like an extension of myself. Mm-hmm. This feels like it's mine. And I think a lot of that probably had to do with, you know, the amount of, I don't know, in-depth information you get to know about the person.
I would love to show your portfolio in a little video if it's okay with you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I really love your portfolio. It's one of my favorites because of how poetic it is, and because of the reference to people that were actually important to you, right?
Right.
So we mentioned, can you talk a little bit about the people that were the bases of your different projects, and why, and how did that bring together an idea about what Rollin really is, about who he is?
I think the project that really encapsulates, you know, what I was trying to go for in my portfolio was the ceramics project, where, you know, my uncle and my father have been collecting Japanese ceramics since I was a child. And, you know, the idea of a water jar just inherently gives me the sense of comfort and, you know, remembrance of my uncle. And, you know, the act of pottery also does that too, but also letting go of certain ideas about childhood. And when I broke the pot and reconstructed it for this, you know, inhabitable sculpture that was in Japan, but, you know, I did it with clay from the States. It also kind of represented me moving around a lot. That project really kind of encapsulated how all the projects in my portfolio were, which was, they represented an interest of mine, my historical experience growing up, and also my familial relations to people.
Spectacular. What was your second favorite project, as far as not so much concept, but in terms of media use?
The Piranesi drawing, I love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that drawing exercise is, I mean, I still love Piranesi to this day. Like,
because of that exercise.
Yeah, because of that exercise. I also couldn't draw before then. So,
do you feel that, we sure went through a lot of drawings, but do you feel that your drawing ability improved, and did you bring that into your education at Cooper? Did it help you a little bit?
Absolutely. I mean, I look at drawings from years ago that I did, like quick doodle sketches, and I'm like, this cannot communicate anything.
Yeah.
You know, from, you know, simple minute sketches to 40-hour long, you know, ultra detailed pen and ink drawings. I learned how to be intentional with my strokes, how to control different mediums, and how to read light and space and create those spaces with emotion and depth in a drawing, which I cannot do.